Norman, will there be more people in heaven or in hell? This comes up from a verse in Matthew 7 where Jesus says, enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction. There are many who go in by it, because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it. A lot of people, preachers, preach on this and say there's going to be a lot lost, few saved. That's not necessarily the case, though. Why?
Well, it might be true, but you can't prove it by that verse. In fact, I don't know any verse by which you can prove it. B.B. Warfield, the great fundamentalist from the turn of the century, 1900, wrote an article on it titled, Are There Few That Be Saved? And he concluded that you can't prove from any of those verses that there are only going to be a few people saved, because they're talking about the immediate temporal response to Jesus, not the ultimate eternal statistics of heaven and hell. So you can't use those verses to prove it. I think you could possibly give a plausible case that more people will be saved than lost ultimately, as strange as that may seem. Number one, by analogy, 1/3 of the angels fell, but 2/3 didn't. So there, all the angels had a free choice, and 1/3 are going to be lost, and 2/3 are going to be saved. Furthermore, those who die before the age of accountability are saved. They're all covered by Christ died for all. They didn't actuate their sinful status, so God in his love saved them. Read Romans chapter 5, verses 18 and 19. So if all the people who died before the age of accountability, and I'm told that worldwide, if the age of accountability is as high as 8, 10, or 12, as we thought in pagan lands, almost half of all the people who ever born die before that age. So there would be half of the population of the world right there. And people say, well, are there going to be people from all these countries in heaven? Yes, even if a missionary didn't get there, there's going to be people there, and maybe more than from North America. So you got the infant mortality rate, you got the percentage of angels thing, then you got 6 billion people. Well, that's almost half of all the people who ever lived. If we had a massive revival today in the world, we could sweep almost half of all the people who ever lived into the kingdom, and it's our obligation to get out and get the gospel to all of them.